Hey everyone, Grüße aus Deutschland, greetings from Germany. What do you know? It's been another 2 weeks since I last posted. I apologize. But what I would like to do in this recording is something that I haven't done in a while. And that is back up a little and tell you a little bit more about myself. I keep forgetting that when you have a YouTube channel, there's a coming and going. There are people subscribing, people unsubscribing. On my channel, it's not all that active because I haven't been uploading frequently. And so I had completely, it seems, forgotten about the fact that there are people that are new to my channel and don't even know what I'm about, except for maybe when they watch my channel intro. But that doesn't really tell the whole story, and that is something I would like to do in this one a little bit. And so most of you know my name. My name is Sabine, and I'm currently in Germany. And the phase I've been going through on my channel is dealing with a job that was really exhausting on me. I mean, looking back at it now, at all the thumbnails, I feel kind of bad. But I am documenting my life on this channel for myself and for friends and family in the United States, in Germany, and of course, friends all over the world. But there are so many videos that were since deleted where I was talking about things that were actually essential to the journey I'm going through now. And I would like to list those again for those of you that have forgotten that it maybe have been around, or for those of you that just got here. And so, what I created this channel for in August 2018 is to kind of sit back and take a look at my life. And the reason for that is that for the past 11 years, between 2007 and 2018, I lived in the United States of America. And my daughter is still living there, and I had a cat there, and a husband, and yada yada. And so when I got back from those 11 years in the States, it felt like for the first time I have like the mental capacities and the emotional calmness to start thinking about what just happened and try to process that. And so that is what I did. But 4 months after, or roughly 5 months after I got back from the States, I started this job, which took everything out of me. And so it seems like I was focusing on other things again, on new experiences at the job with the team leader, with being bullied by the team leader, and then having five different superiors in 4 years. And so basically, I was busy with life. And so now I am finding myself like I've quit my job. Most of you know that. And so for a month now, a little bit over a month, I actually had the time to deal with what has happened at that job. But there seems to be like when you have vacancies on your time schedule, it seems like other things seem to pop in the gaps, and so you don't really end up having all that much time for the things that you wanted to do or that you were planning on doing. And so it seems like I'm still in the process of like dealing with not having that job anymore. Like for example, in Germany you can apply for unemployment benefits. That is a well-known fact, but I didn't do that. I decided I don't I want them to leave me alone. I want to see where I want to take my life, and so I had to register with them, of course, that I'm not working anymore, in order to continue to have health insurance. But so what I've been experiencing is that the Department of Unemployment or Employment keeps coming at me like, you need to do this, you need to do that, and here's an appointment, there's an appointment, and I'm like, why don't you guys just leave me alone? I'm not interesting to you right now. Focus on the hundreds of thousands of people that are living on the streets that are from Syria and Africa and other countries. Take care of them. Don't focus so much on me. I've worked both most of my life. I just had a situation that I would like to deal with, and so stay away from me. So I've been dealing with them. Another thing is that with my parents, and my sister and I have frequent conversations about it, and I'm actually blessed to have my sister around me because we have the same parents, and we've known each other since we were born. We're 1.5 years apart. And so, what keeps coming up in conversations, like when we are talking about how our parents are now completely checking out mentally, um, how they're not representing anymore what they represented all their lives, like certain values, certain interests, certain personality traits, they're all gone, or most of them are gone. And so we talk about our childhoods, and it brings up trauma, but you can't really process it because the people that caused that trauma have checked out. And that alone is such a slap in the face, you guys. It's hard to come at it with logic and with saying, okay, so they're in their 80s now, and and it's not about forgiving them, it's not about that kind of thing, but the fact that it happened to you and you cannot talk to the other person that caused the trauma for you. That's the thing. And so that keeps coming up, and that's all strange. And then while I've been so busy with life for the past 6 years, since I got back from the States, um, it seems like I haven't been able to really pay attention to the outside world all that much, except for when, like for example, that earthquake in New York City this week, or the solar eclipse. Was it yesterday, where I just found out that it was only 80% visible in Virginia, and that made me look up the two solar eclipses that I witnessed in my time, and one of them was in Germany in August 1999, which was during the day, and I was working for the district administration, and there was a park across the street, and so when the sky went dark, the birds all of a sudden would stop chirping, and as soon as the sun was fully visible again, they would start chirping again. So that was all strange, and I watched that from from a very antique balcony where speeches were held before, decades ago. And so that was all strange. And the second solar eclipse that I witnessed was in Northern Virginia in August 2017, which was a few months before I left to come back to Germany. But that one was only 85% visibility or coverage of the sun. And so that wasn't all that impressive. But the birds again stopped chirping, and it was a weird kind of a feeling to see that how it was getting a little bit darker during the day. And so yeah, but other than that, I'm not really paying attention to what is going on in the world, because a few years ago I eventually got to a point where I just had to say, I think it was during the pandemic, where I just had to say, I'm done with paying attention to what is going on everywhere on the planet, because eventually it's going to drive me insane. And so I'm going to have to protect myself by choosing wisely what I pay attention to in life. And that's what I did. And so now I find myself poking my head out a little more again, and looking at what is going on, like the different generations. I completely lost track of that, like the silent generation being my parents, and then following them, the baby boomers, and then Generation X, which is my generation, and the millennials, which is my daughter and my niece, who are both living in the States, and now it's Generation Z. And I told you guys here and there when I was reporting from Central Station in my hometown, on my way to work or on my way home from work, I am appalled. I'm just shocked how focused these or hyper focused these kids are on their blue light devices. It's like their faces are glued to them, and they even have, and I feel silly mentioning it again, but their elongated necks. That is sticking out to me. I've never seen anything like it before, and so it seems to have physical consequences already. And when I talk to them, like, I spent 2 hours a day for the past 6 years on public transportation, and so of course when you wait at a bus stop or whatever, or when you're at Central Station getting a sandwich or whatever, you get to talk to some of these younger people. And I'm only 55. It's not like everybody I run into is younger than me. It's not like that. But when you come across these young people and you talk to them, some of them sound really like they seem like the light is still on, but nobody's home. Like you cannot have a fast exchange with them because they're too mentally slow. And I'm not sure if that is a coincidence or if that is like a sign of the decline of human evolution, us going backwards, I don't know. But I was taking that as, yeah, this has got to be a coincidence or whatever. Maybe I'm just not in the mood to really come at them like in an open-minded way. But that wasn't it, because now I'm looking around on the internet and I see all these selfie takers and all these people eating themselves to death and expecting payment from YouTube or whichever platform they're on, and I'm just in awe. What has happened to humanity while I was in the States? I mean, again, this is why I'm making this like not update, but kind of a addition to the channel intro. Um, I was gone for 11 years. For the most part, I was a single parent, and so I was the sole income provider, and so I was busy making money. And I had to make sure that my daughter, does her homework, that she graduates from high school and stuff like that. And so I was busy with life. I didn't pay attention to the internet all that much. But I missed all those years, and so now I'm like in shock when I look at what has happened to humanity. And yeah, so that is something that I'm currently dealing with, and it's partially shocking and partially amusing. And during those almost 6 years at that company as a receptionist, I came across a lot of younger people too, like between 15 and 18 years old, the trainees or the apprentices, right? And I was wondering, like, when somebody showed up for a job interview for the finance department in unironed cargo, like in wrinkled cargo pants, and a t-shirt with advertisement on, and I was like, that's gotta be like the exception. That can't be a normal thing. But then I talked to people from HR, and they said it is a normal thing nowadays. It's the millennials and the Generation Z, and they're just like that now. They don't have the values that we were taught. Generation X. They just don't have them anymore. They just don't care. And so now I'm just finding myself nonstop amazed at what humanity has evolved into while I was only paying attention to my own life and to my own family and or extended family. But I never like went on the internet a lot and researched things. Only if it was useful for my own life. But now that I'm looking around, I'm just in awe. And of course, that in combination with seeing how my parents are declining, like their health is declining, and what they used to stand for. Like my mother, for example, just to give you or paint you a little bit of a picture. Uh, my mother was born in the 40s, and in the 60s, with a beehive hairdo, she was a secretary. Like she was taught to speed type on manual typewriters, which is something I still had to do in the 80s. And she taught me speed typing to where now on a computer keyboard, I type faster than I can speak. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that was always a thing because of my mother, and it was important to her, and so I developed those skills, or I worked on those skills. But what she did is now taken away by speech to text. You can just dictate something into the computer, and the computer will just have it there on the screen. And so that makes me wonder, like, is there a connection between, what my mother stood for and checking out mentally because what she stood for no longer matters? Or is it just a natural development that when we get older, we check out? But some people never check out. They die fully aware of who they are, where they are, and what time or month or year it is. And so I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Or my father, for example, always like the highest, values and having manners and always doing the right thing. And now he's the one that has to wonder if after the decades that he worked and he made good money, um, he's getting a pretty good retirement, and now he has to wonder if he has enough money to comfortably live off of, with recently having put my mom into a full-time care facility, 24/7 intensive care. And so that is kind of strange. Like, these are my parents, and I listen to what they had to say about life, and what they taught us about life is no longer valid because the world has changed since then. And so that is what I'm trying to figure out in my head. And at the same time, I look at people like on my other channel, some of you know that, and I look at people like Amberlyn Reed, Chantal Marie Thoreau, or Foodie Beauty, or Shani for Christ, and I'm thinking, holy shit. I always thought that I could do much better in life if I really put my mind into it, but I do suffer with ADHD, not ADHD, but ADD, and with depression and anxiety. And so maybe I'm just not strong enough or not strong-willed enough like other people are, and that's why I haven't achieved so much in my life. But now I look at the ones that have achieved a lot in their lives, and it no longer means anything, and that really throws me off. And so, if you come to this channel now, you're catching me at an age of 55. Uh, just looking at life and thinking, wow, I need to figure things out because this all seems confusing to me. Like during those 11 years in the States, I had all the auto mechanisms in place. You need to have a job, you need to, pay bills, you need to raise your child, pass on moral ethics and stuff like that. And so I was not preoccupied. I was busy with that. And then I came back to Germany and I figured, yeah, okay, so I still need to pay bills, so I still need a job. Um, I don't know. I believe everything happens for a reason, but I think with a little more paying attention to what they said in the job interview, maybe I could have figured out that I was overtaxing myself with that job. I could have seen that sooner, and I also could have left sooner, and that would have made my life a lot easier. But I still had those auto mechanisms running, like the autopilot, like they offer me a job, I'm gonna take it. And so there are challenges at that job, I'm gonna deal with them. I don't think like what they're saying about millennials now. Hey, you're treating me like this, I'm out. I don't need this. I wasn't raised that way. My parents that are now on their way out the door, um, they taught us totally different values. And those values that are no longer helpful in this society, they they don't help me. They only confuse me, and so now I would actually have to change my values in my head to continue functioning in this world. That's what I realized when I dealt with the Department of Employment in my hometown here. That were all like, and I don't know what happened to them to change like that. Like, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that, and here's an appointment. I'm like, you back off from me. Who, who do you think you are? And I don't need this right now. I'm dealing with PTSD from my life in the United States. And then when I came back, I instantly accepted this job. So you need to find people to focus on. And it's not going to be me for now because I need for you guys to back off. And so, yeah. So there's all kinds of confusion going on, and I hope that with the help of my YouTube channels, I'll be able to fix that a little bit, or maybe share it with you, and we can talk about it in the comments or in videos. And Aaliyah and Tennille, I'm looking forward to doing more with you guys. I know you've been busy with life too, but I'm looking forward to having more live streams and stuff like that, because it always helps me, like even just the comment section of my other channel and this channel, for people to tell me what they think of what I said in the video. Like, like I'm really trying to understand the world. I'm trying to function in it, but it seems like the values that I used to have are no longer looked for in this world. Like, for example, being punctual or whatever. I was in several situations in the United States where I had to conduct job interviews, and there were several people that just showed up 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late. Others would show up the next day and say, "Oh, I thought it's today." And they were so not concerned about there being any negative consequences from them not being dependable at all. And I was like, yeah, okay, I mean, in my head, I was thinking, you just ruined your chance of working for this company. And or others showing up late and not even giving an explanation, let alone apologizing. And so the world has changed so much since I last stuck my head out to look around. It seems like I've been busy with just living life and not looking around and seeing how the world is developing. And don't get me started on AI. I mean, I had conversations about that with the with members of the IT department before they were all let go. And what they told me about that, I mean, that is just remarkable. Like, if you look at two movies, if you haven't watched them and you're interested in AI and what the development could be, one of them is Transcendence with Johnny Depp. I strongly recommend that one. And the other one is I, Robot with Will Smith. And both of them together make me think, wow, maybe we were not ready as a race for AI because we're simply not intelligent enough to handle that. And so, yeah. So I'm sorry, I flew a little bit of a loop in this video to let you know like what is basically going on in my life, like concept-wise, what I'm trying to grasp, what I'm trying to deal with, because other than that, I'm still dealing with the same things. Parents' health is still on the decline. Of course, they're in their 80s now. It's expected for their lives to end sooner or later. And then also the allergies. Oh my gosh. I mean, the pollen are so bad. Yet again in Germany this year. And I've been having hives and a runny nose, tearing eyes, and I'm using different allergy medication, and I also talked to my doctor, and he wants for me to have an allergy test. But again, like I said in my last video, I'm going to wait until May. Because I'm really worried if I don't take the allergy medication, my lungs or my airways are just going to close up. It's so bad this year. And what I have a better grasp of, or more control over this year or this season, is drinking coffee and tea and a lot of carbonated water. I have not been into carbonated drinks for years, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I would like carbonated drinks, and they help with my voice not being so, raw. So, for me to lose my voice just because I've been coughing so much. So carbonated water has helped a lot with that. I'm amazed. And so, yeah, you could just rewatch one or re-listen to one of my last videos and you would know what I'm dealing with. Trying to take vitamin D. I mean, the weather is getting a lot better. We've been temperature-wise this week even in our 20s, 20 over 20 degrees Celsius, and that is over 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm happy about it because that's um, my feel-good temperature. It shouldn't be too much warmer than that, otherwise I feel hot. And so this is the perfect temperature range for me, to do my laundry, to do my chores, to take down the trash, to really be active and not be sweating like a pig. And so I really appreciate this time of year, even though my allergies are so bad. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I wake up from coughing. I'm like in the middle of a dream and then I'm coughing, or my nose is running and I have to blow it. And so it's really strange. But I guess it could be worse. I could be dead. I saw that in a movie. Which one was it? I can't remember. But recently I watched a movie where somebody said, "Hey, it could be worse, because being aging and getting older is a privilege. Look how many people didn't even make it to my age, and to the mid 50s." And so, yeah, I feel lucky like that. And so, of course, I'm gonna put up with all the things that I have to pay attention now, like blood pressure or whatever. My blood pressure is still in the normal range, but I always have an eye on it because of my parents. But of course, my parents are roughly 30 years older than I am, and so, no need for me to panic about that. And so yeah, that is basically it. So if you're new to my channel, this is what I'm doing right now. Um, so basically, I have not been able to pay attention to what is going on the planet globally, or at some point I consciously decided I just can't anymore. Otherwise, I'm gonna go nuts. And for the most part, I was just busy with life. And that is still kind of the case, but again, I'm sticking my head out and I'm looking at what is going on. And on my other channel, I'm going to continue to do reactions to people where I just can't relate to them living the lives they live without anything to be proud of. I mean, if you want to look for something, and I'm going to say that here, um, if you like the chicken lady, for example. So she's at my age, but she gave up her job like what, 20 years ago, and she doesn't accomplish anything but stuff her face and go shopping every single day. Her house is a mess. It's filthy. The yard is a mess. And she's calling her audience losers. And, just because they have the audacity to say anything critical about her lifestyle, and she expects to be paid for putting the content out where she is sitting on a recliner that she pushed to the dining room table, stuffing her face with dressing running down her mouth, speaking with her mouth full and sniffling up the snot because she doesn't know how to use a napkin or a tissue to blow her nose with. She frequently wipes her hand on the back of her hand. It's disgusting. These people are out, and she's roughly my age, so it's not even a different generation. So these people are out there um, ruining their reputation, but it seems like they don't care. And since they call it work when they upload a video to the internet, they want to get paid for it, and they sound so entitled, and I'm like, Holy smokes, what has happened? What has changed? Like, I still remember a time 24 years ago, I didn't even have a computer, a home computer. I only operated computers at the office, you know. I've been working since 1987, and so I got my first home computer in 2000, 24 years ago, which seems like a long time now. But for so many years of my adult life, I didn't even have a computer at home. And so these people have the luxury of having mobile devices that they can record themselves with, and then they put it on the internet and expect to get paid for it. And my generation or my category of human being was taught never ask for anything, never take anything for granted, work hard. And these people are like the complete opposite, and my mind is just blown. And so maybe I'm going to use this channel to talk about that more, and the other channel to react to people like that more. Uh, because I'm really trying to figure life out. And I know it's almost ridiculous to say that at the age of 55, but I guess you could rephrase it and say, I'm trying to readjust or adjust my focus in life to match my age, you know. And so, yeah, I'm going to come to an end here. This is way longer than I wanted for it to be, but now some of you that just got to my channel recently or during the time when I was just bitching and moaning about my allergies and about my job, didn't even know what I was about or what am I doing on my channel, and so now you have a little bit of a better picture of that. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening to this. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye. Tschüssi.